Namaste. My name is Chandrajit Mukherjee, and as per promise, this is the first day of the 30 days challenge. এটা প্রথম 30 দিনের প্রথম দিন, এই 30 দিন চ্যালেঞ্জের ফার্স্ট ডে। আর আমি এখানে আছি আপনাদের সামনে আজকে প্রথম দিনের টাস্কটা ডিসকাস করবার জন্য। আমি আগেও বলেছি যে আমরা এই 30 দিনের মধ্যে যে সিলেবাসটা কমপ্লিট করব, সেই সিলেবাসটা ডেফিনেটলি পুরো সিলেবাস নয়, কিন্তু এই সিলেবাসটার মধ্যে যা যা আছে এটা যদি কেউ ভালো করে করতে পারে এই 30 দিনের মধ্যে, তার WBCS প্রিলিমস পরীক্ষা পাস করা যাবে। সেই অর্থে আমি আপনাদের সামনে এই 30 দিনের চ্যালেঞ্জ প্রোগ্রামটা নিয়ে এসেছিলাম। আমি নিজেও বলেছিলাম যে এই পরীক্ষাটার জন্য আমি নিজে এই প্ল্যানটা ফলো করব, এই নিজে প্ল্যান অফ অ্যাকশনটা ফলো করব, এবং এইভাবেই আমরা এই পরীক্ষাটাতে একটা সাকসেসফুল রেজাল্টের দিকে আমরা এগিয়ে যাব। সেই অর্থে সেইটার সূত্রে আজকে ফার্স্ট ডে আপনাদের সামনে আমি টাস্কটা নিয়ে এসেছি। All my WBCS aspirants, my students, fellow aspirants, and all the students across India, not only in West Bengal, those who are interested, those who are aspiring to take the examination of the WBCS Prelims Examination 2021, which is about to be conducted on 30th of May 2021. For them, I have started a 30-day course, 30-day crash course you can say, or 30-day timetable you can say, or it's a 30-day challenge as I prefer to call it. In that, today is the first day. The first task will be provided to you. I'm just repeating the same thing in the English language so that other people can also understand it. Now, let's begin with the day one task. The day one task, what you need to do is, once you read them, make note of it. The things that you are reading it, say for example in history, today we'll be focusing on two subjects, modern history and Indian polity. So the areas which you will read from modern history, the areas that will read from Indian polity, you need to make notes of it. And these notes will be in only one copy. Perhaps that is your revision notebook, all right? So today, the first topic, the first important topic from modern history is the educational and cultural development. The educational and cultural development during the British rule. Education and cultural development during the British rule. So we'll have to discuss the educational development that took place during the Company rule, and what are the developments that took place during the Crown rule, and later on what are the developments that took place in the independent India. All right, so this is the entire educational development starting from the beginning of the Company rule until we attain independence. This is number one. Cultural development, it means that the cultural interventions or cultural policies of the British government which were imposed on Indian society, and thereby there were certain changes that took place in the cultures of India. Say for example, a middle class was emerged, an intellectually developed community emerged. People started understanding and acknowledging and appreciating the importance of the Western philosophies, say for example concepts like democracy, nationalism, things like that. All right, then you need to read about the important personalities who actually initiated this process of learning the English language, Western education, attaining Western education. You need to know about the personalities. If at all they wrote any book, you must know it. So therefore you have to make notes of it. So the first task will be educational and cultural development. Second, religious and social reform movements. The religious and social reform movement is basically these two topics from modern history. You can refer to the TMH book that is available, or you can refer to the Spectrum on Modern India, whichever book. Listen to this very carefully. Every aspirant is going through the same book, but only few gets selected. So there must be some tricks how to read the book. So just by yelling out, instead of yelling out, just by giving you the names of the book won't suffice. So it is up to you, it is up to your wisdom how you utilize these materials, all right? So in the religious and social reform movements, what you need to read is that you must know why this reform movement was necessary. What are the factors that led to the development of such reform movements? Second, who were the participants? Say for example, if there is a reform movement in a Hindu community or a Muslim community, a Sikh community, Parsi community, there are certain reform movements which were all on their basis. So you need to know where it started off from, who started, who is the founder, which is the place that it got cemented, what are its impact to even today in the Indian society. So a broad perspective is what is required. Apart from that, Apart from that, social reform movement, the question would be what is the necessity of having the social reform movement in India, and what is the important role that these movements played, to contribute to the entire Indian freedom struggle. All right. Now, these are the two issues, these are the two topics that WBCS or UPSC, particularly WBCS, is extremely interested in. So you need to make clear, crisp notes of it, of educational and cultural developments, as well as religious and social reform movements. All right. Third topic of the day is the Gandhian phase. You must understand Gandhian phase in a way that how Gandhi started off his career as a leader way back in when he was in South Africa since 1893-94. After what happened when he came back to India in 1915, what are the areas that he covered, which are the reforms, which are the tools that he developed, all right, what are the movements he launched, or what are the steps he took against the arbitrary practices of the British Crown in South Africa, all right, what are the issues in South Africa which were actually hampering the growth and development of the Indians there. All right. Now, what are the changes? What are the changes that was adopted by Gandhi and his movements? If you compare the movements that took place in South Africa and the movement that took place in India, what is the role of the masses in those movements? So Gandhian phase is an essential part. Now, question is, you might be confused that the Gandhian phase is started off it's normally in the books it is written that it's got started off in India since the development of Champaran movement. So from Champaran, and now you can analyze since Champaran to Quit India movement, it's all Gandhi everywhere. You will find some role played by the Gandhi, be it the Pune Pact, be it the Gandhi Irwin Pact, be it the Delhi Pact, be it the Round Table Conferences, be it the non-cooperation movement, or the civil disobedience movement, or the individual civil disobedience movement, the Quit India movement. You will find Gandhi everywhere. But the question is that when you are ready to read about the Gandhian phase, you'll have to stop up to the non-cooperation movement. So begin with Champaran, end with non-cooperation, and that is what is required in today's task. I hope this is clear. Next comes the two important polity topics. In polity, what you need to read is the framing of the Indian Constitution, the need of the Indians to make their own constitution. All right, who propounded this notion that only Indians can, make the best constitutions for themselves? Who raised the demand for the Constituent Assembly? Things like that. So therefore, the important aspect would be so as I was saying, that while reading about the framing of the Constitution, you must know that what is the importance of the Constituent Assembly, who raised the demand for the Constituent Assembly, who was M.N. Roy. Was he the first person to demand for a Constituent Assembly, or it was Mr. Gandhi way back in 1922? So there are certain documents which will prove that Gandhi was the first person in 1922 who demanded that Indians can only make the best constitution for themselves. This is what I am quoting from the Indian Constitution written by Granville Austin. In the Lakshmikant or books like what we normally read, you will not find this, because there it is written that in 1934 it was M.N. Roy who initiated the demand for a Constituent Assembly. Anyways, so these are the areas that you need to know. All right, then you need to understand what is the origin of the Constituent Assembly. When did India began to take up this challenge to create and write its own constitution way back in 1928? Who posed this challenge? All right, what is the relationship, what is the linkage of the Nehru Committee report or the Nehru report with the Simon Commission? All right, then things like this. So you need to understand the wholesome of the framing of the Indian Constitution. It is then you can focus on what were the committees, who were the members in the drafting committees, how much time it took, what is the symbol of the Constituent Assembly. So what are the other factors, what are the other functions that the Constituent Assembly performs? Say, for example, adopting the national anthem, national song, national flag, when it was adopted, who was the first president, who was Sachidanand Sinha, what is the French practice that normally we adopted. Even today we adopt the entire pro tem speaker concept is taken from French constitution. So you need to understand that what are the essential components of the Constituent Assembly, what are the functions that it played, what were the committees, what is the origin, who raised the demand for having a constitution, and try to link that topic with the Simon Commission 1927-28, and then you can come up to the 1946, the day when the Constituent Assembly was created. All right. Then comes your last topic, that is salient features. And in salient features, what you need to understand is that there are 17 salient features. You must need to know all the 17 features that is there in the book. Book in the sense I am talking about Lakshmikant, but as I said, that everybody reads Lakshmikant and only few can get through the examination. So there might be something or some technique to read the book. So I rest this upon your wisdom that you will make the best use out of this book. And in salient features, only 2 or 3 things are very important. Try to link up all the salient features and link them up with each other. Say, for example, if there is a written constitution, try to relate it with the parliamentary form of government. Then if you have a parliamentary form of government, try to relate it with the emergency provision. Then you have an emergency provision, try to relate it with the fundamental rights. So this jumbled features that is provided in the book, you need to reconnect, link one with the other, and it would be absolutely awesome if you can connect these features with some sort of a current affairs that is going on. Say, for example, in the last year we have seen that the duration of the question hour in the parliament was reduced. Now when the question hour of the parliament is reduced, maybe there are certain justified reasons, but what is the more important is that whenever you are reducing the question hour, what you are doing is that you are in a way compromising with the concepts, compromising with the essence of democracy. So not only democracy, but actually it's a contradictory to the essence of the parliamentary form of government in itself. So the main focus would be to link topics while reading it and to make notes out of it. So thank you so much for today. I leave you, and it's approximately about 8:35 or 8:40. So I presume that this video will be your yardstick for the day. The topics that you have been given today, and the areas within those topics that you need to read, the sources, all is mentioned so far. So you need to complete this 5 tasks for the day 1. While making with all your notes. The sources would be Spectrum or the TMH book. In polity, there's only one book, which is Lakshmikant. Complete it by 12 a.m. all right, then only you can start off with the day 2. Do not keep anything pending for tomorrow, all right, because otherwise if you keep on procrastinating this preparation, the 30-day challenge will be of no use, all right. So I'll take your leave. All the best. Complete the task, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you.